it's still cheaper. I actually went onto the Shein app this morning after I saw, the price increases go into effect, and I
See,
saw
you
some
did
of the
too.
studies. I did, I had to see, right? But I mean, if you take the price of something from $1 to $3, it's a 200% price increase. But will it have the consumer pull back on what they were planning to buy? And that's probably like a makeup brush or something like small like that. So I think we have to look at the price elasticity. And to your point, if that item is still more expensive elsewhere in the US, then you'll still buy it there. But yes, prices are going up there. Remember, they are hit with two things. The first is the tariff, of course, but the de minimis exemption that they no longer can hold is the bigger hit that they have, which is why they're having to face all these tariffs with which other countries are not having to do. It's only China where this exemption was removed from.
Poonam, somehow I think once again, the small and mid-sized businesses are going to get hurt the most here. As you mentioned, the Amazons of the world, they can deal with the margin pressure maybe more than a mom and pop. And I know when my kids were young, we had to go out and buy a present for a birthday party. We'd go to the local store right in town as opposed to going to Target because we want to shop local, support the local shop owner and all that kind of stuff. But if they see their prices rise, what are they going to do? And that's a big part of this U.S. economy.
Yeah, look, the mom and pop shops, the small businesses, to the extent that they still have inventory, they can probably weather the storm. But once the inventory gets depleted and they have to refresh with new things coming from China, whether it's through a supplier or direct, the prices are going to be higher. And they will not be able to pass along these price increases to their consumers, especially, when you think about it, Paul, you and I, right? If you want to support the local shop, you may go buy the toy there. But if you know you can get it cheaper at Amazon or Walmart because they're willing to absorb much of the price increase, you're going to go where it's cheaper, right? That's where the
Yep.
consumer is going to drift.
Now, you mentioned inventory. When are we going to start to see a difference in the inventory from, let's say, the Walmarts or the Targets?
Yeah, I think a lot of what they sell is stored here through suppliers and their own distribution networks. So they still have some inventory on hand. But when you get into the peak back to school holiday selling seasons, by no means do we have enough inventory to fulfill demand there. So I think in the next 2 months is my best guess is when either you'll start have to bring shipments in at higher prices or you'll have to change what you sell. And Amazon can do that because it does have a marketplace that's very diverse. So, maybe you're selling, I don't know, yellow erasers, and now you go somewhere else and source pink erasers. It can vary. The other thing you have to look at is just the percent of your mix that's impacted. So when you look at an Amazon.com, we estimate that roughly 22% of their mix is in electronics. And electronics has a lower tariff rate. It's 20% right now, even from China, right? So that's manageable compared to the 145% that they'll be paying from apparel made out of China or coming from China. So a little difference in, where the price sensitivity will be across the goods that they sell.